As a native New Yorker, I had lots of friends and people that I know and care and love, be in some way impacted on 9/11. And so to stand there and honor and remember the first responders of New York, to remember people who ran towards the fire, not away from it, to remember all the lives that were lost, all the families that had to move on, and especially specific to my family, to remember Father Judge. What a special man that gave comfort to my wife's family after they lost my wife's sister Cheryl in TW 800. So that meant a great deal to me, and it was great to see the way the National Football League honored not just 9/11 but 9/12 today. With regard to the game, I'm very proud of our football team. We had a really hard camp. We worked really hard to come into this game and have no guys cramp, to have no injuries really going into the game. It was a testament to our players and to the people that work downstairs, our training room, our wellness people. I gave them all a game ball. I thought the strength staff, the medical staff has done an excellent job. And then, obviously, credit to the Jets. That you can tell that they're going to be a really good football team. They play hard. Zach Wilson, I think you saw the special things that he's going to be able to do. And it certainly wasn't perfect. We would have liked to put the game away and played better, but to get the onside kick and then pop a run into 4-minute defense was gratifying for all of us. So we'll get better. We'll get ready for next week. But that was my thoughts, and I'll just finally say it was great to play in front of the fans. It was great to walk off the field, not having to hear Ed Foley sing "Sweet Caroline" in the locker room, but hearing the fans sing it was wonderful and was special. And thank you to them for the energy that they gave us today.
How was it being back in a winning locker room after such a gap?
It's what you do it for, right? You do all this, put all this work in, take all this time to have that locker room and have that moment and be in the locker room together and watch those guys celebrate and hug and. All kinds of crazy things happen during the game, but it's that moment, that celebration that's awesome. So it was fun to be in there.
Matt, how did you feel Sam played today?
I thought Sam played excellent. A drop catch here early on here. And he was wrong on a play, like he threw it the wrong place. But I thought he hung in the pocket. We weren't great up front tonight. But he hung in there, he moved around, he slid around the pocket, he found guys down the field, made key third down throws, made key first down throws, protected the football. So, we went into this game saying we were going to play field position. We felt like our defense was going to play well early. So we were moving the ball, but not quite getting the points. But just kept saying, hey, let's play complementary football, let's pin them down, let's get the ball back, pin them, and eventually we'll crack through, and we did. So I thought Sam played well for his first game.
Matt, you mentioned complementary football. Your first 3 scores were coming directly off a big plays from the defense. How pleased were you with that the offense was able to kind of maintain the momentum of the defense?
Yeah. We thought that's what it was going to take. We figured they would come out and they'd try to run the football and have quick, easy throws early. They did that. I thought really the tail of the game was the fact that our defense was able to stop the run so well and turned it into a drop back passing game. And then again, like I said, had some hard decisions to make. That I had the ball on the 33-yard line and punted it instead of going for the field goal, and that's a tough decision to make. I can tell you that. But it felt like the way our defense was playing, I just wanted to try to pin them down. And we had worked we thought we were going to get them down inside the 5, inside the 10. It didn't quite work out that way, but we had a couple drives where we were able to pin them back and just again playing off the defense. And defense, made some big plays for us.
That fumble with Sam, it looked like Ricci might have bumped into him. What was the problem on that?
Yeah, I think I had to see the tape to see if Ricci was too tight. Sam's got to seat that ball a little tighter. Gio's got to be a little wider. I think we're going to walk in for. We're not going to get the first down. I think we're going to walk in for a touchdown. I mean, we had it wired. Guys made great blocks, and who exactly it was, I have to honestly watch the tape to see. That's a play we run all the time and have never had that issue on. So, like everything else, just a little things here and there that that have to get cleaned up to be a good team.
We've heard you guys use the term positionless a lot. Most of the time, it's referring to Chin or sometimes Burns. But can you talk about Shaq Thompson and what he did out there today?
Yeah, I mean Shaq's we kind of has that rebirth in the number 7. Going back to his college days. And I thought he was all over the place. He sacked the quarterback, intercepted the football, went sideline to sideline in the run game. I thought he played really well. And, he's a guy that can do a lot. He makes us right. He can cover backs out of the backfield. the guy splits out wide, he can go out there and cover him like a corner, which he did on the one play down, on the ball down the sideline he knocked away. So I think Shaq played a great game.
You mentioned
A lot
Zach
was made
Wilson.
of the offensive line coming in, a lot of question marks. John obviously missed today. What'd you think of their play?
I'd have to watch the tape always with the offensive line. There were we had some struggles on some, kind of whiffs on some pass pros. The deep play to Christian McCaffrey, the deep play to Robbie. I mean, we whiffed up front, and Christian blocked the defensive tackle himself. That doesn't happen. That might have been Christian's best play of the day. But I think overall, we played well enough to win the game up front, and I thought, especially the fact that we were able to run the ball at the end of the game. If Christian was able to go down, that to me is what good teams do. They run the ball at the end of the game and put games away. So I feel like that group's going to get better and better and better. I think Dennis needed to play this game and kind of get his feet underneath him. Elfline came out of the game for a little bit. Dennis came out of the game for a little bit. Trent Scott went in and played. So I'll watch the tape, and probably have a better feel on Monday or in terms of where we're at. But I thought overall they were solid.
You mentioned Zach Wilson.
Let him go ahead, Bill.
You mentioned Zach Wilson, and you used the word special there. What in particular impressed you about how Zach played today in this
I stood in the face of a lot of heat and made some throws down the field. We showed guys tapes of him in college, pump faking and getting out to the right, and really feel like we probably should have had 2-3 more sacks if we could have just kept him in and not let him get out to the edge. So I think he sees the ball down, he sees the field well when he gets out in the pocket. He's going to move around, but he's really tough. I mean, when Derek hit him on that one at the 25-yard line at the end of the game, I didn't think he was going to get up, and credit to him that he did. Happy he did. And took him down and scored a touchdown. So I think when you have a guy like that, you sense his moxie. He's only going to get better and better and better.
Sam Darnold had a lot of questions coming in, and people question you all too. So I'm just curious, what does it say about him, the way he was able to get out there, even when he was under pressure, making throws when he got hit? What does that say about him?
It's a good first step, good first game. I think for him, this was probably a real step forward. That he was in the moment the whole game. I had a lot of concerns. I was just, anxious to see how he would be in terms of playing the Jets in that moment. I mean, he looked like he had fun the whole day. There was not a moment where I was like, hey, calm down, hang in there. I mean, he was great. And so I went, coming into the game, I think I talked to Scott on the days. I said, I felt like he was the least of my concerns. I wasn't worried about Sam. He's been locked in this week. And I'm sorry. And I think he's played that well. So, and people, I think people just have to wait and see how he plays as we move forward, But my job's to help him play well, not to see if he plays well, right? So we'll come back on Monday and Tuesday and keep, continue to work with him. I mean, as I said before, he's the kind of guy you want to succeed. And when you have those guys in the building, things are good.
Ask you about Sam. He's obviously a very even keel personality guy. But can you appreciate, the element to this game? Obviously, his first three years at the Jets, who drafted him and whatnot. And did you guys speak leading into this game at all in terms about the emotions or controlling that human nature?
Yeah, I didn't speak too much about it, and I kind of my way sometimes is kind of teasing, like, hey, you're gonna be all emotional before the game and all that, and he was making fun of me before the game because he said, you're saying hi to more people than I am, so because a couple guys I knew, but no, I think Sam's resilient. I really honestly, like, this whole week he's been so locked in. I didn't have a question. I think he was ready to go, all week and played like it, and just kind of hung in there. I think we're that kind of team right now. We just got to hang in there until we make a big play, and I think we'll just have to build off it with him. But I like his demeanor.
Wait until today to announce the 2 jersey changes for the linebackers. Was that done kind of to throw Zach Wilson another curveball, so to speak?
I think those guys came to me like. Monday, I guess it was, maybe it was Friday or Monday, or excuse me, last week or Monday. I think it was Monday. Shaq was like, "Hey, I'm serious about this. I want to change my number." And I told them both. I said, "Hey, I'm good with it. I mean, there's sometimes if you change your number, there's some financial things that the guys have to take care of." I said, "Talk to Donnie," and there's just a process you have to go through with the league. So I think one got approved on Wednesday, one got approved on Friday, and so. There's no rule about when you tell that, so just didn't see a reason to, go announce it ahead of time. It wasn't like it had happened 2 weeks ago or something. It was kind of late in the process, and, just announce it at the inactives. And so, I figured pretty quickly that they'd figure out that Shaq was in 7 and Jermaine was in 4. And I was happy for Shaq. We put up some of his highlights of him in college in the building. Just him number 7 playing tailback. I think he's a guy that's going to have a great season. I think he's he's played a long time, but he's feeling good about where he is and I'm anxious to see him take off.
I feel like sacks. What was the strategy in trying to, obviously facing a rookie quarterback who hadn't played in a regular season game? What was disguised coverage? What were you guys trying?
Yeah, we tried to disguise everything. They did a good job. I don't think we fooled them. I think just, we just were able to get there. I think we covered well, and we were able to.
That can't be good.
I think.
Something we need to know first.
Y'all want to stay here, we'll leave.
Remind me the question again. I'm so sorry.
I was asking about what you did to do.
Yeah, so I think Phil made a decision early on. I think he was going to bring pressure, and we blitzed. But then we got home with some 4-man rushes, and they started max pro, so we went with some 4-man rushes and tried to cover. We trust our defensive ends to get there, and then at the end, a couple times, like I said, Chin came free on that last big play. And, Zach stood in there, made a huge throw down the field. So, when you live by the blitz, it's always risk reward. But we got there enough. And, again, credit to the quarterback. He just kept coming back.
There's a lot that leads up to today, OTAs, draft, training camp. Coming into this game, did you have a first day of school type feel? Was there nervousness? How were you heading into today?
I was nervous, but good nervous. Like nervous in the terms of I shouldn't say nervous. I was anxious. I love these guys on this team. They have worked so hard, and I wanted to make sure that I gave them all that I could. You know what I mean? There's sometimes I felt like we were a good team. We were going to play well, and I just wanted to make sure I did my job, and I gave them the best chance to succeed. And I got to be honest with you. There were some ups, there were some downs, but I really enjoyed being on the sideline with that team because they celebrated together. They hung in there together. So. I tell the guys all the time, embrace those feelings, man. That's why we do this. That's what makes us feel alive, right? That's why we are not going to sleep for the next 3 days, get ready for the next game, because we want to have that feeling of, hey, this matters on Sundays. And so I woke up today I was up at 4, my eyes were wide awake. I was like, look, it's game day finally. After this, you kind of get in the rhythm of the season, but this first one, you go through that whole long process. You get here. But I'll say one time, I really like this team, and I like the guys on this team, and I wanted them to have success today.
Christian obviously hadn't played in a while. How do you feel he held up playing his first game in a while?
I thought he looked great. I don't know how many carries he had. I know he had some catches out of the backfield, but and then finally that last run, and then him having not even we tell him, hey, first down, get down, right? But just how unselfish he is, he just gets down right away. He's not, he gets the first down, he gets down, we win the game. So, thought he looked great out there. We'll continue to build off of what he did schematically, and continue to improve for him. I think Christian's ready to have a great year.
How do you evaluate Ryan Santos's performance?
Yeah, obviously he missed that first extra point, which was disappointing. Had to go back and look. The first thing I always try to do is check the hold, check everything, make sure we didn't miss it, see why he missed that kick, and then, but then after that, I thought obviously he made the kick that mattered to make it a 2-score game there. So, we'll have to just continue to evaluate, continue to improve, continue to work with him. But I had no doubts about going back to him. I knew he'd make the kick at the end that we needed.
Today, the first time you've had your whole family in the stands since you coached here?
No, they were able to come last year, right? I looked at my wife oh, please don't say the wrong thing. But they were able to be here. The only thing is my daughters can't come on the field. My daughters usually come on the field before the game and yell at me to do my job. So now they send me a video because they can't come down the field. But more importantly, that our players all had their families here and that we had the fans here. I walked down from we're staying at the JW Marriott. I walked down today and. It was cool to see fans and just see people be excited about the game. So hopefully we delivered an exciting game, and now we'll celebrate tonight. And we'll wake up tomorrow morning and get ready for New Orleans.
Are you going to be without Hartsfield for a while?
I think that it looked like that could be significant. So I don't have the exact times, but I would expect that would be significant.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, everybody.
Stay tight. We should have Sam momentarily.
The O-line, they did a hell of a job all day. So it's my job, if I see color in the A-gap or B-gap on especially those shot plays, I got to help. So, I mean, you play good team football and, it's the same way. Robbie scores a touchdown. It's the same way. First play, Robbie throws a big block for me. So it's just good complementary football, and that's what it's going to take to keep growing.
What did you think was your best play?
I don't know. Have to check the tape. Fired up about a win, though, that's for sure. And, there's a lot of room to grow. I know offensively, we got the guys who are going to come in tomorrow hungry to get better, and I think that's the most important thing right now.
Obviously, for Sam, debut for you guys, but also playing against his former team. Can you appreciate kind of that human nature element of it? And he's a pretty even keel guy anyway, so he probably doesn't get too high. But what do you think this meant to him?
Absolutely. Anytime you play against your old team, that's real. So we were fired up, and he led us the whole game. And like you said, he's poised, and he just shows up and does his job. And fired up that he's our quarterback.
Christian, you mentioned complimentary football. The defense played so well, and right before Robbie's big play, Etor had the tackle for loss on 4th and short. Just to be able to capitalize on those big moments from the defense and kind of pay them back for making a big play and then scoring makes it easier for them. What does that do for this team?
Yeah, that's what it's about. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, but we just got to focus on the next play and do a better job in the red zone, obviously. And when defense gets a stop, we got to do a better job for those guys who are working extremely hard to go out there and put points on the board. Not field goals, but touchdowns.
Christian, how would you describe kind of your lead up to the season? Because, you go from not doing anything in preseason games. Obviously, you have practice, but right away 30 touches in a game. How do you kind of testify to your pre-season ramp up to the season and how you prepared for that?
Yeah, well, we practice really physical. We had 2 joint practices that were pretty physical as well, and I think it's important for me to, have a little contact before the season just to get used to it. So I think, we did a good job of that, and then just our recovery staff and everybody on board there does such a good job of keeping us all healthy. So it's just about taking it one day at a time and doing everything you can to get better.
How did it feel being back out there for the first time in a while?
It was amazing. Yeah, it felt awesome just to be back out there with the guys and to get a win. It's been a long time, so we're fired up and ready to move on to the next one, but we'll celebrate this one right now.
On the last play, your last carry, Christian, where y'all sealed the game, can you sort of describe what you did there?
Yeah, we knew that if we could get a first down there, we were just going to kneel it, so it's important to not run out of bounds, keep the clock going, and so we can get in victory formation.
Christian, was there anything you saw out of Sam this week that kind of told you that, because he is an even-keeled dude, but that you saw this meant a little something extra?
I think Sam, I've never seen him different, and I think that's the biggest thing for us that we see. Since OTAs, he's been the same guy. He comes to work every day, and he's first one in, last one out guy, and that's the kind of guy you want, leading your team. So we're just lucky to have him, and I know right now he's going to go back to the drawing board too and get ready for this next week.
Christian, everybody sees the big plays you make out of the field, but when you make the plays that everybody doesn't notice, like the block, how much time do you still work on that part of your game, and satisfaction do you get out of that?
Yeah, football is the biggest team game in the world. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. Those are the fun plays, because like you said, sorry. Those are the plays that, are fun for the guys, because we all see all the work. It's the same thing as, DJ or Robbie, one of these guys throwing a touchdown block in the end. Same way, you get an offensive tackle who's leading up in the safety, and you got a fullback. You got so many guys who never get recognized that we work as one unit, 11 guys, and that's the most important thing. So I think football is the biggest team sport that gets a lot of individual attention, but you can't have one without the other.
Christian, are you prepared to touch the ball 30 times a game for 17 games this year?
Yeah, feel ready to roll.
There's a lot of lead up to today and, OTAs for you might have come on because of the injuries last year. And I asked Coach Rhule this. Was there first day of school vibes? Were you nervous coming into the day? How did you feel right before the game and last night?
Yeah, I just try to be the same guy every day. I think that's the biggest thing, and treat every day with a sense of gratitude. And anytime you can step on the field, whether it's practice or a game, you can't take it for granted. And I think that's the biggest thing is practice really hard, practice like it's a game so that when game day comes, you feel prepared and you don't get too high and you don't get too low.
Last one for Christian.
I think I saw your mom here. What was it like to see her again on the sideline, give her that game hug?
That was awesome. I have a great family. I've been very fortunate. And anytime one of them get to come to my games, I get really excited. So I'm always appreciative of them.
Thank you, Christian.
Thanks, guys.
Sam, about to come to the podium if y'all want Sam. Chris, please stay in here.
This week that this was just another game, but now that it's over and you've played and you've beaten the Jets, did it feel that way? Was there some of that human element where, you wanted this one pretty badly?
I'm not going to lie, seeing them on the other side, that was a little different for me. But other than that, once you throw that away and you kind of look at the scheme and, our offense versus their defense, you kind of forget about it in the middle of a game and while you're playing. So, we tried to execute to the best of our ability, and that was it.
But what about when it's over? When it's over and you have time to kind of process and say, okay, like, you reflect it all in that moment?
No, I'm sure later tonight, maybe tomorrow, as I'm watching the game, I'll start to feel that. But it was just good to get a win. And, again, like I said, I feel like we didn't execute necessarily as well as we wanted to, especially when we got into the red zone. So we just got to clean some things up there. But
A sense of relief do you feel after I know it's the first game, but all the emotions and everything that was alongside of it. Is there a sense of relief after this one?
It's just good to get our first win. Obviously it's just one, but we just got to keep working and move on to the next one after Monday. But no, it's definitely, I think it's good to feel this, especially with the fans back, being able to get a win at home. It's huge, and I feel like the fans had a huge part to do with it, to be honest.
What did the quarterback draw feel like, and just what were your options on that play, and kind of describe the ending with the fans? You seemed to celebrate a little.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk you through the whole play, but it was great to be able to get in the end zone. It was a great play call by Joe. It was just a great play, and to be able to get in the end zone and celebrate with my teammates is always fun. What's that?
I just asked, did you keep the ball?
Did I keep it? Yeah, I kept it.
Did you and Robbie have a nice laugh, Darnold Anderson against the Jets?
Again, we really didn't think about it like that. It was just a good connection for a touchdown. That was honestly it.
Did you like his Jets celebration when he threw out the airplane wings?
I didn't even see it. Didn't notice it. Sam, did you get a chance to talk to Zach after the game? Yeah. Obviously, it was an interesting day for having a lot of friends. What did you say to him after the game? What advice would you give him going forward? Yeah, I just told him hang in there. He's I told him he's a really good player. You just gotta, take it 1 week at a time. That's the biggest thing that I told him. And again, as a rookie, it's you have a lot of things flying at you in terms of offense and trying to, dictate, certain coverages and pressures that teams will bring. So there's a lot for him right now, and again, he's just got to take it 1 week at a time.
Sam, there was a lot made when you were in the Jets with the cast around you. Obviously, you're not going to say anything bad about that, but when you can forwarding it to here, when you got guys like Christian around here and the receiving core you have and the protection you got, can you talk about what you have around here right now in terms of your skill position and your offensive line and Christian particularly today?
Yeah, I think we got, a great cast. We got 22, who's not a bad player, and then we got, great guys on the outside, DJ, Robbie, Terrace Marshall, who I think is going to be a good player. Great tight ends. Our offensive line did really well today. It's just we got a really good cast, and I'm really excited about it.
The shot play to Robbie came the play after Yetur had to stop on 4th and short. How good does it feel to cash in a great defensive play?
Yeah, it's great. It's it's complementary football. You know, we talk about it all the time. Defense gets a great stop, and you want to go out there and score points. You know, so it was great that way.
What happened on the fumble down near the goal line, and what are the things you kind of think to yourself right now that you know you've got to clean up going into week 2?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot for us to clean up, first of all. Second of all, the fumble, you know, we got to look at the tape and see what happened there. You know, that's just something that I got to be able to see to be able to, you know, have a good answer for you.
You didn't lose confidence even after your year with the Jets. Was it at all satisfying to kind of show what you were capable of doing?
I mean, you know, again, like I said, I feel like as an offense we didn't capitalize as much as we should have, you know, in the red zone. I feel like we stalled out a couple times, and obviously the fumble. So we should have scored more points, but yeah, you know, whenever you can be efficient, you know, have, you know, just get completions and let your guys, you know, do what they do with the rock, you know, it's always a good thing. Sam, I know you kind of referred to it a little earlier with what you like about Zach, but and then obviously you were focused on your own game. What did you notice about how he performed today? Matt was up here raving about how Zach kind of stood in the face of a lot of pressure that you guys. Yeah, you know, I thought he did. You know, I honestly didn't really see a ton of it, but yeah, I thought, you know, our defense, you know, they have some good scheme, you know, to be able to, you know, just hide certain things. So, you know, I thought he did a good job of standing in there when he could and delivering the football.
Sam, what were you most pleased about your game today?
I think just the efficiency and you know, no turnover besides the fumble in the red zone, but just being efficient with the football.
Sam, on a personal level.
I see some big things that Christian does out there, but like some of the subtle things, the blocks, that free you up to make some big plays. Can you talk about that and what that means and those things that he does?
You're talking about Christian, his ability to block, and yeah, no, he does a great job in pass protection. You know, that's, you know, obviously he's very good in other ways, but he's very good in pass pro as well. So, I mean, he can do it all, but you know, he's always looking to get better every single day, and you know, that's why he's such a good leader for us, is because you recognize how good of a player he is, but the way he comes in every day, you wouldn't think that.
Sam, on a personal level.
Is there any vindication to beating a team that did trade you away a few months ago?
No, not for me.
Sam, on a personal level, just kind of behind the scenes for your own work in the off seasons and stuff, this is a little off the beaten path, but what has Jordan Palmer meant to you in terms of what and how much has he helped you, you know, in these off seasons and whatnot? How much has he helped develop you?
Yeah, Jordan's been great, you know, throughout, you know, my time in college and now. You know, he's always a key part in my off season and sometimes even during the season, you know, to be able to talk to him, whether I'm going through adversity or whether I'm having success. You know, he's just a good person to talk to and knows what he's talking about.
There's a lot that leads up.
How many out-of-town friends and family did you end up having to?
I mean, basically my whole family's here besides my grandma and grandpa. So.
Is that 20, 25?
No, it's probably like 15 or 20.
There's a lot that leads up to today, and I've been asking everybody this. Off seasons, OTAs, a lot of hypes around. And you're an even-keeled guy, but I just wonder, coming in, was there any level of excitement, like first day of school vibes? Like, how did you feel? Yeah.
Yeah, no, a little bit. That's a great way to put it. You know, just coming out here, you know, first regular season game with fans again. Yeah, it's a great feeling to be able to come out here and get that win at home. It's a really good feeling for us.
Did you have any jitters, like any more excitement?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit of jitters, you know, just to start the game and then settled in. Really nice, yeah.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Sam.
Jeff Burns,